1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Can you hear me? That's the background music. Aha, there we go. Hello. Quiz time, just about. Say hello if you're here. It's nearly time for the quiz. Scottish football quiz put together for you by me here at the Quiz HQ, Dr. Paul style. There's our first people. Hello, David. Hello, Ollie. How you doing? Tell me if that background music's too loud. I think it's okay. Hey, how you doing? Right, what time is it? It's 5:02. That's good. We're on nice and early tonight. I was writing the quiz today. It took hours. Last week didn't seem to take so long. Tonight, this week it seemed to take ages. So I hope it's okay. I hope I ain't busting my ass for a quiz that's no good. Hello, Colin. How you doing? Welcome to the quiz. Hello, David. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Colin. Hello, David. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Colin. There you go, that works. We're going to start the quiz. Going to start talking about the quiz at 7 o'clock. So, we've got a few minutes before we have to do any kind of detail about the quiz. I've shared the quiz in a few places today. Hopefully, the numbers will go up. I need the numbers to go up to keep the quiz viable, because it takes a while to put together. You know what I mean? So I need a few more people coming in. But last week was slightly up on the week before. Hopefully, a few more people. Tell us what you've been up to today. And if anyone takes a minute just to share the quiz, then that is terrific. You know, if you share it if you do a quick share on your social media, tell them Dr. Paul's online. It's going to be a quiz. Oh yeah. Maybe someone you know that likes or is interested in remotely Scottish football, the greatest football in the world. I mean, obviously, they have a lot of success and that sort of thing down in England, but it's not always about success. Sometimes it's just about getting away from the wife for a couple hours. Mind you, I suppose that's the same in every country, not just Scotland. Maybe it's a universal thing. But why football? Why do we keep going to football? Why not some other form of entertainment or sport? Why not rugby? I'll tell you why, because rugby's shite. And you know it. Ollie says, I have been revising Scottish football. Excellent. Now, Ollie is our friend in the south. Ollie is based in Huddersfield. Is that right? Am I remembering that right? Because I said that and then suddenly I'm thinking, hang on, is it somewhere? Nah, it's Huddersfield, isn't it? But he knows people up here. So, you know, he's got a sort of an interest. He's got a Jam Tarts connection. David Ballingal. Ballingal? David Ballingal says, hi again, rejoined in the app. I've got no idea what that means. Some kind of tech chat. Quiz ballers are here and ready. Hello, Robert. I'm going to start, for everybody just coming in, I'm just going to start talking about the quiz in 2 minutes' time. We'll start talking about the quiz at exactly 7 o'clock. And I'll hit the first question right about 5 past. Okay? Ha! And Joe's here with the Fabians, trying out the football quiz. Hello, Gregor. Back from last week. Stefan Kuntz is ready. Who was Stefan Kuntz? It's a familiar name. Was he Germany? 1990s? Is that right? David Ballingal. I can't say that. Ballingal. Went to Huddersfield versus Burnley. 2nd of January 2019. Never again. Why, David? You can't just leave it like that. Why would you never go to Huddersfield versus Burnley again? Was it because it was cold? Was it because it was rubbish? Did you get roughed up? Were you treated badly? Surely not. Kuntz scored against England at Euro 96. Yeah. I seem to remember, like, despite being a grown person by this time, I was still doing the Panini stickers for Euro 96. And Mr. Kuntz caused a fair bit of hilarity amongst my gang of not quite grown up people. Too many cooks. 2 cooks too many here. And ready. Alright. Thank you, Bill. I will reply to your email. Sorry I haven't done that. Eye of the Schweinsteiger. That's good. It's the Eye of the Schweinsteiger. Doesn't quite scan, but it's really good. Euro 96, Euro 92 as well. Yeah. It was the main man. It was the top Kuntz of the 90s. Hello, Jam Tarts. We buffering again? It is 7 o'clock. Right, it's time to start. It's time to start speaking about the quiz. So let's do that. Let's get rid of these slides. Thanks for coming to the quiz. I'm Dr. Paul. I'm Quizmaster. That does man nutting as well, David, actually. Miles from the station to the ground. Because they build these things and they just factor in that everyone's got a car. But everyone doesn't have a car. Please give the quiz a share on social media. I was mentioning a few minutes ago, I need the numbers to go up if I'm going to keep doing this. So please let people know about it. The live quiz starts soon. The house rules here at Dr. Paul Quiz, at all Dr. Paul Quizzes, is no Tories, no racists. And I was doing that before it was cool. Wash your hands. That's the other rule tonight. And here's how the quiz works. It's a pub quiz. I'm the quiz master. You're the quiz teams. You might be a quiz team on your own, but you might be in touch with some other people via technological situations, or you might be stuck with somebody in a house. That's your team. I ask questions and you're going to write down answers as we go. It's round by round. I'll tell you the answers for each round after the round. Okay, so you do your own marking. There are no prizes for coming top. I do have a prize tonight, just no prize for coming top. So, so there's no cheating. Basically, there's no need or no point in cheating. So you do the scores are just for fun. We'll upload the scores at the end of the quiz. I've just realised I don't think I've got last week's scoreboard here. Nah, it should be there. I forgot to do it. Right, okay. But I know that Mr. Gordon McCubbing was top of the table. We know that for sure. I've got just about time. I'm going to just get last week's scoreboard on so you can see. Give me a couple of seconds, alright? In the meantime, in the chat, tell us the worst ground you've ever been to. David didn't like Huddersfield because it was miles from the ground and it was freezing. Have you been to Arbroath? Have we talked about that before? Oops. Let's turn that off as well. Tell us, everybody who's on just now, tell us your least favourite ground to go and visit. Just while I get last week's scores for you. Because, you know, I could skip past it, but I'm doing okay for time, so I don't think... I'm going to take a couple of seconds. I've got to go in this folder here. Definitely Garfield. I know you don't mean the fat, unhilarious American cat. I know you mean Gayfield, the home of death by exposure. What am I doing in that folder here? That's not right. See, this is what happens when you try and talk and actually do something at the same time. Doesn't work, right? Tynecastle this season, says Connor. And I'm a Jambo. That's your least favourite ground. Yeah, it's predictable, Jam Tarts. Easter Road, what a hellhole. Come on, tell us, like, you know. Maybe a more positive if I say, what's your actual favourite ground to go to? That's not your own team. Maybe get more sense out of you if I do that. Right, hang on. See this talking and trying to do something else at the same time is mental. I don't know how women do that with multitasking. Right, there we go. That's better. Okay, I can turn this back on now. So, look, there's last week's scores. Gordon McCubbing at the top, along with Blue Fox Tuesday. That's the European places there. Mid-table anonymity for Mr. Stefan Kuntz, Murder on Zidane's floor, Keith Chameleon, Big Man Wee Doug, Dafty Dills, Huey Lewis and the Clues, Fabian Society, who are here again, Joe Milne, all mid-table. And in the relegation zone, Breed or Deed, Mrs. Mango, Jam Tarts with Ollie, Home Alone, and Two Cooks Too Many. But I don't think any of you did get relegated because of ground reconstruction seats, 10,000 seats, something like that. Right, that was last week. A moment in time. This week's moment in time is Jerry Britton's unmatched goal against Dundee in the Scottish Cup. Quite a while ago now. Greatest goal I've ever seen live. Absolutely amazing. Right, we're ready for doing the quiz. You all ready? I'm ready. Let's see what you're saying about grounds. Lochburn, says Kieran Hockey. Maryhill FC can get a pint in a glass while watching the game. That's what we're talking about. That's the good stuff. Favourite ground is Newcastle by a mile. Hamburg Stadium used to be called the AOL Arena. You saying that's a good one? The old Gretna ground was pretty bad. I never went to Gretna. Worst ground was Shotts, a town built on a hill with a football ground built at the top of that hill. Nice. Oh, there's quite a lot of ground chat here. Worst ground I've ever been to is Hamilton. 2 stands shoved in a supermarket car park. Yeah, not the best, is it? Retford United. Muddy field in the middle of nowhere, says Groundhopper. Yeah, funnily enough, I went to Retford last year. I was changing trains. I was going from Edinburgh to Skegness. I had to change trains at Retford. Never heard of the place. Middle of nowhere. It looked like the sort of place where there would be a very bad football ground. You didn't like Livingston, Marion? I've only been to Livingston once. It was the Challenge Cup final a few years ago. I quite liked it. I thought it was quite nice. I know that's not a popular review. Boghead. Oh man, Boghead was great. I did reporting there a few times. Right, lots of ground chat. Let's get on with the quiz. As I said, I was going to get the first question at 5 past, 7 past, because I've been reading all your great stuff there. But let's get on with it. Right, first round is the same letter round. It's nice and simple. 5 questions. All the answers start with the same letter. The thing is, don't shout out answers in the chat. All right, just write these down. I'll tell you the answers after each round because everyone's just trying to answer. So don't give people the answers. Right, ready? Here we go. Home ground. So, which Scottish football club play their home games right next to the mouth of the River Leven? Now, all the answers in this first round begin with the same letter. So if you don't know this, wait till you get the letter and then you'll be able to guess. You should be able to get the letter at some point. That's question number 1. And if you miss any, don't worry. We'll go back and do them again before I show you the answers. Number 2, Scotland winner. There's a headline for you. Who scored the winner when Scotland beat Germany 1-0 in a 1999 friendly in Bremen, Germany? So Germany 0, Scotland 1. Who was the goal scorer? That was in 1999. Also scored a winner in another well-known 1-0 Scotland win from round about the same time. Which was a win, but not a win, if you know what I mean. Number 3, Don's bosses. What nationality was Ebbe Skovdal, who was the manager of Aberdeen between 1999 and 2002? Alright, Ebbe Skovdal was the boss at Aberdeen, 99 to 2002. Quite a character, but what country was he from, or what nationality was he? That's number 3. Number 4, the Greats. Now, who was the only Scottish footballer so far in history to win the European Footballer of the Year award? This is something that later became sort of World Player of the Year, but back in the day, it was only for European footballers. And a Scottish guy won it. This is, I'll tell you when it is. It's the 60s, right? So back in the 1960s, the only ever Scottish footballer so far to win the European Footballer of the Year award. Remember, all the answers start with the same letter in this first round. The letter is the guy's first name in this instance. Number 5, Septic Tanks. Which Scottish football club currently have an American chairman named Tim Keys, who wants to move the club? He wants to sell the ground, wants to move the club. But which Scottish football club is that? Tim Keys is the chairman. He is American. I think he's from Texas. Not quite sure, but seem to remember that. Right, I'll quickly tell you the questions again for the first round. The thing to do is to tell me in the chat if you're ready. Tell me that your team's ready. If you're ready. Don't type any answers, but tell me you're ready. Right, here they are once again. All the answers in this round begin with the same letter, okay? So, who played our home games right next to the mouth of the River Leven? Number 2, who scored the winner when Scotland beat Germany 1-0? Probably a bit more famous for scoring the winner in another 1-0 game back then. Ebbe Skovdal was the manager of Aberdeen, 99 to 2002. What nationality was he? And he probably still is. Number 4, who was the only ever Scottish footballer to win European Footballer of the Year award? And the last one, Tim Keys is an American chairman of which Scottish club? Okay, so Graham's saying ready, David's saying ready, the quiz ballers are ready, Fabian Society are ready, and the Groundhopper is ready. David Ballingal is trying to guess my movements. You then changed at Grantham for Skegness, I'm guessing. Well, you know. See? You're second guessing me. I actually completed my journey by changing trains and going to Lincoln and then getting the bus from Lincoln. It just worked out better. Lincoln was nice. I'd never been to Lincoln before. Last year, went up to Lincoln Cathedral, took a few hours, walk around the city, you know. Nice place. Nicer than Skegness, which is pretty much a hellhole. Alright. That coffee had cream in it. That's why I'm so fat. Right, everyone's ready. Let's move on to the answers. Going to give you the answers. Now, scoring. Before you start scoring, give yourself 2 points if you've been here before. That's the Dr. Ball loyalty bonus. You don't get that if this is your first time here. But you'll get it next time. So everyone who's been here before gets 2 points. And 1 point also if anyone in your team shared the quiz. If you did a social media share, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, then you get a point, okay? So you could start off with 3 points. The rest of these are worth 2 points per answer. Here we go. Number 1, did you get a letter? First of all, it was letter D. I hope you did. Get the letter D. Okay, here we go. Who plays their home games right next to the mouth of the River Leven? It's when you're at the corner flag, it's closer to the river than it is to the centre spot. It's Dumbarton FC. Dumbarton was the first answer. Pardon me, 2 points. Scotland winner. 1-0 against Germany and Bremen. It's Don Hutchison. Yes! The Don. There he is. There's slotting it past the helpless German defence. Pink strip. Nice one. Eb Skovdahl was the manager of Aberdeen 1990-2002. He was a Dane. He was a Danish fella. There he is. You remember Ebby Skovdahl? Got the same initials as East Stirling. Just noticed that. But he's Danish. The great, only ever Scottish footballer to win European Football of the Year award back in the 60s. It was Dennis Law. The Lawman. There he is. I think he won it in 64. That's a little bit later, but obviously a top player. And the last one, who's got a chairman called Tim Keys? That is Dundee Football Club. Okay, Dundee. So the answers all together: Dumbarton FC, Don Hutchison, Danish, Dennis Law, Dundee. You're saying salmon, not pink. I'll say pink. You say salmon. I'm not ashamed. I like a pink shirt. I'll wear a pink shirt. And some people get upset about the colour pink. I'm okay. Right, Dumbarton, Don Hutchison, Danish, Dennis Law, and Dundee. Give yourself 2 points for each of those. Tell me what you scored, right? And if you got any wrong, tell me which ones you got wrong and how you got them wrong. Fabian Society, full bore. That's 13 points. That's 10 out of 10 for those scores. 2 points for being here before and 1 point for doing a share. Thanks for doing the share. Only real men can wear pink. Well, anyone can wear pink. No matter how real you are. Hey, the Mango Boys are here. Full house as well. Good start. Marion's on 7. Gordon's on 13. Quizballer's on 13. Yeah, Daffodil's on 13. Right, good start. Let's move straight on because I was a bit dilly-dally at the start. Let's get speedy. Here we go. Picture round, okay? You got Dunfermline instead of Dumbarton. Nah, they're nowhere near the river. They're up a hill. Got the wrong Dundee team. Fuming, says the Groundhopper. Yeah, they wanted is a Texas guy who wants to move it to Camperdown Park. And then nobody will be able to go, oh, Tannadice and Dens are really close together. Won't be able to say that anymore. Right, anyway, picture round. In which country was this famous Tartan Army photograph taken? Alright. Absolutely pissed out his mind, probably. Scotland fan. Sticking his alcohol fumy mouth right in the ear of a lady copper who just did not ask for it. But in which country did this take place? It was at a major finals, so obviously quite a long time ago. You went for Dixie Deans instead of Dennis Law? Nah, Dixie Deans. I don't know much about Dixie Deans. Great name. Sounds amazing. Great footballer name. Don't know much about him. Didn't get Don Hutchison. Maybe a bit difficult. Okay, that's number one. So you don't have to name the stadium or the ground or what the game was. Just what country was the photograph taken in. That's number one. Number two, 1974 Cup Final. Name the two Dundee United players in that picture. One of them became a top TV pundit in the end. And the other one became a Scotland manager. So who are the two Dundee United players? You get 1 point for each one. You don't have to get them both. If you do get them both, you get 2 points. But 1 point for each one. Name the two Dundee United players. That's the 1974 Scottish Cup Final. Celtic won that 3-0. It was the first time Dundee United had been to a major final. But name the two Dundee United players. One of them ended up becoming a top TV pundit. The other one eventually became manager of Scotland. Who are they? Okay, number three, sharp dresser. Who's this leaving their house to go to work sometime in the 1960s? Quite a strong look. With a suit, the tie, very 60s shirt collar. Great big mad coat in case it gets freezing later on, which it probably will. Because this was taken in Scotland. Who's the guy? Simple as that. Number four, World Cup. Alright, which FIFA World Cup tournament featured this logo? And to narrow it down quite significantly for you, it was a tournament that included Scotland. So, one of these collector's items, you know. So which FIFA World Cup tournament featured this logo? It was one of the tournaments for which the Scotland men's team did qualify. Great logo. Love it. Classy. It's like the news or something. Like the news at 10, but just all football. And last one, Lower League Stadia. Classic. Look at this. Whose main stand is this? That's the main stand. That's the big stadium. Big bit of the stadium. But which lower league club? That's one of the more recent grounds I've been to. I was there back in August or September, something like that. Nice day out. Okay, tell me when you're ready. Hello, Fraser Kennedy. I was having technical problems in the first round. Got 8. That's good. That's not bad at all. There you go. You're in the game now. Right, so there's 2 different Dixie Deans. I always wondered about that. Is there 2 different ones? Is that right? Tell me when you're ready for this picture round. I'm going to quickly recap these questions. So number 1, what country was the photograph taken in? Number 2, name both Dundee United players. One ended up a pundit, one ended up Scotland manager. Who's the geezer leaving his house, going to work sometime in the 1960s? Which World Cup was this? It was a World Cup that included Scotland. And whose ground is that? Brilliant. Okay, so ready. Quiz ballers are ready. Fabians are ready. Let's do it. Let's get these answers up for you. Here we go. Picture round. Okay, kissy. This was snapped. The photographer's called Ian Torrance, actually, award-winning photographer, and it was in Sweden. Norrköping was the name of the Swedish town, and I believe it was Scotland versus Netherlands in that tournament. But a famous, quite beloved of the Tartan Army, because they like to think that we're all love and peace and all that, in contrast to English hooligans. To my mind, not so much of a difference, sometimes. Anyway, name the 2 Dundee United players on the right. I think probably more easily identifiable is the guy on the right, who went on to become a top pundit with Sky Sports. It's Andy Gray. And slightly in the middle distance there is Walter Smith. That's Walter Smith. Used to play for Dundee United. Yeah, that's right. Euro 92 was the tournament there, Marion, for the first one. But Walter Smith for 1 point, Andy Gray for 1 point. Who's the sharp dresser? Surely you recognise this. This was the young Alex Ferguson. This is at the time that he played for Rangers. Towards the end of his playing career and before becoming a boss. World Cup. Which FIFA World Cup tournament featured this logo? It was Mexico 86. Yeah. Nice logo. Mexico 86. 2 points for that. And this is a classic piece of architecture with the extra bit of roof added on. You get everybody in there. Everybody who wants to see the game can go in there. It's Albion Rovers. Alright. Clifton Hill. Albion Rovers for 2 points. So, there we go. Sweden. Walter Smith and Andy Gray, 1 point for each one. Alex Ferguson, Mexico 86, and Albion Rovers. There are 10 points for you. How many did you get? How did you find that? You put Mexico 70. Gordon, if you put Mexico 70, give yourself 1 point for Mexico. If you got half the answer, right? Give yourself 1 point. Full house for the quiz ballers. Hey. Good score. I thought Walter Smith was a little bit difficult. Not really remembered so much as a player. 9 for the Eye of the Schweinsteiger. So I bet the one you got wrong was Walter Smith. Guess the colours were the last one. Aye, that's the clue. Only guessed number 5 because of the colours on the stand. Yeah, that's why I used that photograph. Marion was saying that was part of Thistle going by the colours. Come on, Marion. Thistle's... That's no Thistle's main stand. Thistle's like the... like the Colosseum in Rome compared to that. Thistle's a grand ground. Okay. Celtic boy on the left. That was, of course, Mr. Dalglish, wasn't it? Aye, the Coatbridge San Siro. Fantastic. Right. Time for an anagram now. I've mislaid my phone, so I'm just going to have to roughly count a minute here. I'm going to give you a minute to solve this anagram, okay? So, whoops, there we are. Player, top player. Who's this? That's it. You got a minute starting from now. Usually I give you exactly a minute, but I have I've not got my phone here, which is what I usually use. So I think we're down to about 45 seconds there. This was a player who played in Scottish football in the 1990s. Don't shout out the answer in the chat, just try and solve it yourself. You'll get 3 points if you solve this. We are down to about 25 seconds. Give you a few, and it was a very famous player. It was a top player in the 90s. Only in Scottish football for about 4 years, I think. I think we're down to about 10 seconds now. Do tell me if you got it. Gordon's got it. Kieran's got it. Fraser has got a big grinny yellow face. I think that means you've got it. Okay, you're up. That's time up. Let's find out if you got it right. It's Brian Laudrup. It's your old pal Brian Laudrup, who was obviously at Rangers. 3 points if you managed to get Brian Laudrup there. Nice one. Add that onto your score. I'm going to get you to upload your scores at the end of the quiz. By the way, please like the quiz. If you're liking the quiz, please like the quiz here on YouTube. And it helps me in my algorithms, you know. Right, round 3 is Hexo. I've been doing this at the Dr. Paul sort of pub quiz. But this is the first time I've done it on the football quiz, so I'll need to explain. So, right. I'm going to give you a series of questions. You need to find the letters that are the initials of the answer, and they're all there on the grid, on the Hexo grid. The answers do not overlap, so once you've used up a hex, you don't use it again. Alright? And you'll see what I mean when I start giving you the clues. So the first one here is the name of a player, first name and surname, who scored a hat-trick against Rangers in 2016. He was the first Celtic player to do that since the 1970s. It's a bit like Blockbusters, except no drugs. So you're trying to find 2 letters there that refer to the name of a Celtic footballer who scored a hat-trick against Rangers in a match in 2016, which was the first time anyone had done it since the 70s, which I think was Harry Hood. I'm not sure. Number 2 is the all-time leading player for Rangers in terms of appearances. No one has made more Rangers appearances than this player. Mainly all in the 60s and the 70s. 60s and 70s player. No one appeared for Rangers more than this player. That's Hexo number 2. Yes, sorry, quiz ballers, I should have pointed that out. Yeah, the letters need to be adjacent to each other. One answer doesn't follow on from another. They can be in different parts of the board, but the 2 letters that make up an answer, if it's 2 letters, have to be next to each other. Yes, I should probably explain that. Sorry about that. Number 3 is a 3-letter name. Okay, 3-letter abbreviation. So what is the venue? What's the name of the stadium where Brazil narrowly beat Scotland 1-0 in a World Cup clash? Alright, so 3 letters. There are 3 letters adjacent to each other on this board. that give you the name of the stadium where Brazil once beat Scotland 1-0 in the World Cup. Just the 1-0, just scraped past us that night. Because Brazil aren't that good, you know what I mean? Number 4 is a 4-letter solution. It's the title of the Scotland official World Cup song in 1982. Widely heralded as probably the best Scotland World Cup song of all time. So, where's that on the board? Which 4 letters? For any of, by the way, for any of these, you don't have to know the actual answer. You just got to get the letters. You don't have to know what the letters stand for. And the last one is the current captain of Scotland's women's team. So the Scotland women's football team is a woman who now plays her football in the United States. She's from Aberdeen originally. But she is also the captain of Scotland in her spare time. So find the 2 letters for that. So pay attention to the letters. Make sure you don't get too many or too few letters. So number 1, person who scored a hat-trick against Rangers in 2016. That's 2 letters. First name, surname. Number 2, all-time appearance best for Rangers. No one has appeared for Rangers more times than this guy. It was in the 60s and the 70s, all his appearances. Number 3 is a 3-letter one, and it's this name of the venue where Brazil squeezed past Scotland 1-0 in a World Cup match. Really should have got a draw, you know. Number 4 is Scotland's World Cup song from 1982, widely heralded by music critics as the greatest football song ever written. Because it is. And the last one is Scotland's women's captain. Yeah. Currently. And that is a woman who plays her football in the USA, club football. She's from Aberdeen, and she is the current captain of Scotland. So tell me when you're ready. I don't think this is tremendously easy. I think a couple of them are, but a couple of difficult ones as well. Kieran's ready. David's ready. I'll wait for a few more, and then I'll show you the answers. Quiz ballers are ready. Graham Scott is ready. Marion is ready. I'll wait for a couple more, and then I'm going to show you the answers. Gordon's ready. Bill's ready. Fraser's ready. Okay, let's do it. Let's go show you the answers now. Remember, the answers do not overlap. Okay. Here we go. So, the person who scored the 2016 hat-trick against Rangers for Celtic, first time it had been done since the 70s, was MD. That's Moussa Dembele. All you had to do was get the letters. Okay, you don't have to know the guy's name. You just had to get letters. So, Moussa Dembele for 2 points. Number 2, the all-time Rangers appearance leader. No one has played for Rangers more. 60s and 70s, that was Mr. Rangers, John Greig. John Greig. Number 3, the venue where Brazil were lucky to get away with a 1-0 win over Scotland. That was in Italia 90, and it was in Turin. It was the Stadio delle Alpi, SDA. All right, Stadio delle Alpi in Turin. So SDA for the points there. Number 4, the greatest song ever written. We Have a Dream. That's what it is. We have a dream. If dreams come true. Then Bonnie Scotland will score the winning goal for you. Wow. Amazing. And Now, if you're not interested in women's football, this is a difficult one. I wonder if you picked up even half of it, maybe. RC. Rachel Corsie is her name. So, pretty difficult to get a full house there. Tell me what you scored. RC is Rachel Corsie. Moose and Dembele, John Gregg, Stadio Delle Alpi, We Have a Dream, and Rachel Corsie. Tell us what you scored. I'll be totally honest, I would have no idea about the women's team. That is the best football song. Yeah, I'm glad you agree, Bill. Like the England one, World in Motion. That's pretty good. No doubt about it. That's alright. In fact, England have had a few good ones. You know, the one I liked was Meat Pie Sausage Roll. That just felt right. I'm off to seek medical help, says Raymond. I couldn't remember the Brazil games. Sweden and Costa Rica, yes. I don't remember too much about the Brazil game. I remember Murdo McLeod getting battered in the face by a Branco free kick. Murdo McLeod was in the wall. It was a two-man wall. Quite a wee bit outside the box, but Scotland put a wall there and Branco just hammered it as hard as a man can kick a football. And it struck Murdo McLeod full in the face. And Murdo McLeod was, you know, no fairy. But he just went down. He was rattled by that. Only 2 points in that round, Ollie. Disaster. 4 for Marion. You, Rachel. So I guess the second letter C, 1 point or 2. Well, if you got RC, you got the points. Like I say, you don't have to know what they stand for. If you got the letters, even if it was by luck, you get the points. Yeah, I was thinking that as well, David, about Leighton. And I think it was some kind of nasty wee fumble by Jim Leighton. Consensus is that Gorham should have been playing. And Gordon says, when Murdo woke up, he had signed for Hibs. See, dreams do come true. One of the harder rounds. Good. Well, glad I'm stretching you, Gordon, because it's all too easy for you. Oh, no, you got 10 anyway. Right. Fuck's sake. Right, let's move on. Let's see if we can find something that Gordon McCubbing does not know. See, David, you thought it was Sandy Jardine. I put that in there deliberately. Sandy Jardine was actually second greatest number of appearances. He's second only to John Gregg, so that's not a terrible guess. Okay. Yeah, it was a tough round. Right, okay, it's time for Guess Who. I've got some Guess Who clues for you here. Let me just find them so I can tell you what they are. Right, here we go. So, there is a person from Scottish football hiding behind the grid. I'm going to reveal 6 squares at a time and give you a clue. If you get the correct answer on the first clue, then you get 10 points. If it takes till the second clue, then you get 8 points. If you only get it on the third clue, you get 6 points, and so on. You know what I mean? Here we go. So, Guess Who? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the first squares away. And this person, I'll tell you, was born in 1959, was a childhood friend of Charlie Nicholas in Glasgow's Maryhill. In fact, they lived on the same street, a couple of doors down from each other. So, childhood friend of Charlie Nicholas in Maryhill, born in 1959. Who is this? Write down a guess. You don't have to commit to an answer. If you want to change it later, that's fine. But if the guess you write down now turns out to be right, then you get 10 points. Okay, so get a guess down. And then I'll give you the second clue. David's got it straight away. Quiz ballers think they've got it on the first one. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here comes the 8-point clue. A knee injury at Ibrox when he was 28 years old appeared to end his playing career at that point, although he did come back a couple of years later and continued playing for Dundee and Partick Thistle. So who is this? That is clue number 2. All over it, says Gordon. Right, a lot of you getting this. I'll move on. I'll do the clues fairly quickly now. Man has managed to include Hibernian, Morton, Brechin, and Dundee at least twice. When he was with Dundee, he qualified with them for the UEFA Cup. Do you remember that, Dundee fans? Remember those days? This guy was the boss. That is for 6 points. Here comes the 4-point question. He told in an interview with the Scotsman newspaper that his real love is music rather than football, and that he fancied being a DJ. That's for 4 points. For 2 points, here's the last clue. Get rid of all the squares. There's the glory of his face in full. And the last clue is that he's bald now, as you can see. But he was always bald. Guys who are this man's age. What's that? 1959, so he must be 60. A lot of guys are bald at that age, but this guy's always been bald. Okay. You've all got guesses down, and you all know what you're going to score if you're right, and you all know it's Jim Duffy. It's Jim Duffy. So how many points did you get? You tell me on the Guess Who. The people who got it early seemed pretty confident. Kieran was saying that Mary Hill gave it away for you. I didn't actually know he's from Mary Hill till I wrote this. Apparently it was just from 2 doors along from Charlie Nicholas. And childhood friends. He said he knew Charlie Nicholas was a special player. He tells a story that Charlie Nicholas was given a ball at the age of 3 and immediately did 12 keepy-ups. At the age of 3. I don't think I've ever done 12 keepy-ups. But, you know, I was a keeper. I didn't have to fanny about with that stuff. Too Many Cooks got 0. Ah, Jesus Christ. 8 for Dave Patterson. For the Gaffer. Nobody beats the Oracle. Aha, nobody beats the Oracle. Is that our team from the Brass Monkey? 10 for David. Ballingal. He was a Maryhill FC player. Did he play for them before he started the other stuff? Kroffenheim. 10 points for Kroffenheim. Right, very good. Got that at 6. I've never even heard of him. Alright, Jam Tart's got it for your team. I thought you were saying you'd guessed it even though you never heard of him, which would be amazing. Some kind of psychic activity. Alright, let's move on from Jet Luke. Or we could just stare at Jim Duffy's face all night. Correct score, right? This is my own creation this round. I think this is more difficult than it was last week. Good, Groundhopper, that is you. Right, well, welcome. Hello again. So, yeah, correct score is this. I'm going to show you 5 games from the history of Scottish football, and you have to remember what the score was in these games. You have to have a guess, or try and use your memory, your football knowledge, to say what the score was. For each of them, you can get 1 point or 2 points, or 0 points. So if you get the right result, like win, draw, or loss, you get 1 point. If you get the exact correct score, you get 2 points. So you see what I mean as they come up. So the first one is the League Cup final of 2014, which is the 13-14 season. They played it in March. All right. So Aberdeen versus Inverness Cally Thistle. What was the score after extra time? It was the Inverness's first big final. The League Cup final. The Strange Cup, which isn't quite as good as the Scottish Cup. But still, if you're in it, it's alright. So, Aberdeen versus Inverness Cally Thistle. League Cup final 2014. What was the score? after extra time. I didn't know Tommy Burns was a Maryhill player as well. Was he from Maryhill as well? Or is he from somewhere else? Number 2, CIS versus Scotland at Euro 92. We've already talked about Euro 92, the kiss through the fence. Now, some of our younger viewers are thinking, what the fuck? An insurance company? No. CIS was the Confederation of Independent States. So, basically Russia. The Soviet Union had disintegrated, but they still had their football organisation intact. So it was all the countries that used to make up the Soviet Union. Basically USSR, or Russia, versus Scotland at the Euro 92 Championships. And Marion says, I was there. I noticed you said that for the earlier Euro 92 question, so you should know this one. Mind you, there's loads of games I've been to where I can't remember the score. I would not be able to remember the score. Number 3 in the correct score round is the last day of the 2007-2008 league season. Dundee United versus Celtic. The Premier League, or SPFL, whatever it was called at the time, went down to the last day on this year. What was the score in this match? Dundee United at home to Celtic. Last game of the season, of the league season, 2008. Number 4 is the most recent Champions League match to involve Rangers, which is now 9 years ago. Right, Malmo versus Rangers. This was the last time that Rangers played in the Champions League to date. These are difficult this week. These are difficult ones. And the last one, Hibs against Hearts, and that is the most recent Edinburgh derby before the COVID's destroyed everything. Society as we know it. Life as we know it. Hibs against Hearts, the most recently played Edinburgh derby, March 2020. So, tell me when you're ready, when you've got some scores for all 5 of those. And we'll get on to the answers. Bill saying that Jim Duffy arrived in a helicopter for his first game in charge of Hibs. Is that right? Is that true? A helicopter? I mean, the traffic on Easter Road can be a bit choked up sometimes, but a helicopter? No. Surely not. Robert Jones is saying, didn't he offer someone a square go at Easter Road? I wouldn't be surprised. He's like quite a square go looking type of a guy. Yeah, these are quite testing. It's a difficult one last week. See, it kind of stung me last week because Gordon McCubbin, after the correct score round last week, said, that was really easy. I'm like, alright. I'll make it a bit harder then. But the thing is, Gordon McCubbin knows everything, so he's probably going to get 10 out of 10 anyway. Get to the chopper! I don't think it was in the day of the match. Even more, why would you get a helicopter? Why would you take a helicopter to Hibs? Whether it's on the day of the match or not, why would you get why would anyone take a helicopter? Was he on an oil rig or something like that when he got signed? Had he had a wee change of career? Quizballers are ready but unsure of the Malmo score. Well, it's because it's pretty obscure. Don't worry about it, Gordon. You can't apologise for being good at this thing, you know. You're the man, you're the champion. Okay. I think there are enough readies. Let's get on to the answers. So, correct score. You know how this works. If you call the right result in terms of whether it's a draw or a win for this team or a win for that team, you get 1 point. But if you get the exact right score, you get 2 points. Okay? So, maximum 10 points. Here we go. So, Aberdeen versus Inverness. It was the first time that Inverness had qualified for a major final, and it finished Aberdeen 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0. How exciting. I think it was at Celtic Park, I'm not sure. Aberdeen won on penalties, but the score we're looking for there after extra time was 0-0. Absolutely thrilling stuff. Right, CIS versus Scotland, which is basically Soviet Union or Russia versus Scotland. That was CIS 0, Scotland 3. Whoa! You like that? You know the miserable thing about that is, for some reason, there's not really any good footage of it. I was looking on YouTube. There's like a crappy YouTube video, which is Russian, which is supposedly highlights of the game. And it shows you Russia attacking and attacking and attacking. It only shows the 3 Scotland goals as replays. You don't even see them. You see replays from odd angles. It's a weird video. But there's nothing else. That's all there is. Okay, Dundee United against Celtic. Last game of the season. I think Celtic had to win. Rangers could have caught them, but it was Dundee United 0, Celtic 1. I think Rangers drew or something like that. CIS versus Scotland was on BBC Scotland the other day, really? Well, there you go. That's maybe right or wrong then, because I was looking at this, 2 weeks ago? And someone on the YouTube comments was saying, oh, it's sad that one of Scotland's biggest wins wasn't really recorded properly. That's maybe why they chose to show it, because there's so few highlights kicking about. But Scotland went out of the tournament because they'd already lost to Netherlands and Germany. But it was a good win, you know. Anyway, Malmo. The first leg, by the way, at Ibrox was Rangers 0, Malmo 1. And then in the return leg, it was Malmo 1, Rangers 1. So Rangers went out. It was 2-1 on aggregate for Malmo. That was the last time Rangers were in the Champions League. So 1 point if you got any other type of draw. 2 points if you got the exact correct score. And the last one, the most recent Edinburgh Derby, March this year. Hibs 1, Heart of Midlothian 3. Were Scotland already out at that point though, Bill? Or was it still mathematically possible to get through? I don't know, I can't remember. I'd have to study it a bit. I seem to think it was still possible. Don't know. Don't know, can't remember. But it was obviously... Like, the thing is, I know that the CIS still could have qualified. So it wasn't like they were lying down or giving up or anything. Scotland lasted a day longer than England. England were going to win that. Absolutely hands down. Greatest team in the world. But they went out first round. That was the Do I Not Like That Graham Taylor situation. 7 points for Fraser. That's pretty good. Gordon's saying Scotland were already out. It's funny. I just trust anything you say, Gordon. I think you're the major expert. 6 for Nobody Beats the Oracle. Yeah, it was a difficult round, eh? Thanks very much, Raymond. 5 points for Marion. Got the Malmo wrong. Only the wrong answer so far, though. That's pretty good. Right. That was a difficult round, I think. Scores reflect that. Let's move on. What we got left? It's just double or bust. That's all we've got time for now. We've got one last round. So here we go. This is the final flourish. So this last round, let me explain. Double or bust. You get 4 points for a correct answer in this round. Wow. Double points. So you can get 20 points here. Alright. But you run the risk of going bust. If you put one wrong answer down in this round, then you get bust. To avoid getting bust like this, and by the way, bust means 0 points for the round. Okay, not for the whole quiz, just 0 points for the round. To avoid getting bust, you can leave blanks. You don't have to answer all the questions in this round. So you choose the ones you want to answer, and if you get them right, you get 4 points. But if you put an actual wrong answer down, you get 0 points. So it's up to you which ones you want to go for. Okay? Here we go. Bug. Right, number one, what small annoying animal, of which there are millions, is the nickname of Alloa Athletic Football Club? Alloa Athletic Football Club are known as the Somethings. What are they? Okay. Number two, politics. Brent Sancho played 48 games for Dundee in the 2000s, 2003, 2005. But for which country did he end up becoming the Minister of Sport in 2015? So footballer turned politician Brent Sancho played for Dundee in the 2000s, like everybody did. And ended up becoming Minister of Sport for which country? That's... I think, yeah, that's a difficult one. That is difficult. Unless you just know it. Obviously. Right, number three, rare Euro jaunt. So which Scottish team's most recent European adventure came in 1995 when they went out of the first round of the Intertoto Cup after playing in a group with Linz, Metz, Zagreb and Keflavik, which is probably holds the record for the greatest number of Scrabble points in any Intertoto Cup first round group ever. Like, you got 3 of the teams have got a Z, and the one that doesn't has got 2 Ks, a V and an F. That's Scrabble-tastic. Linz, Metz, Zagreb, Keflavik were the opponents. Which Scottish football teams last time they were in Europe, so it's a rare occurrence them being in Europe, was that group in 1995 European Intertoto Cup? You know what I mean? Number 4, Mojo. That's Maurice Johnson. Remember him? So which side did Maurice Johnson play most games for in his career? And the clue here is it's not a club in the UK. So Maurice Johnson very famously played for Celtic and for Rangers. But the answer is neither of those teams. Alright, which club did he play the greatest number of games for? It is not a club based in the UK. That's number 4. These are purposely slightly more difficult than the rest of the quiz, or I think they are anyway. And the last one, right, bit of a guessing game this, unless you're a big East Fife fan. In season 1997 to 98, East Fife conceded more league goals than any club in Scotland. How many goals did they concede in the 36 league games? The 10 goals thing means that if you get within 10 goals of the right answer, you get the points. So you can leave it blank if you're not confident, like any of the questions in this round. Or you can get your balls out on the table and go for it. So how many goals did East Fife concede in the league campaign for 97-98? It was more goals than anybody else in Scotland. I'm not saying it's a record of all time. It's just the most that year. Just a stat pulled out, you know. So how many goals did East Fife let in that season in the league? You know what I mean? If you get within 10 goals, well, 10 goals out, you get the points. If you're 11 goals out, you're bust. So 10 goals either way, you know what I mean? Okay, tell me if you're ready. I'm going to quickly recap the questions here. So number 1, small annoying animal is the nickname of Alloa. Number 2, Brent Sancho ended up being the Minister of Sport for which country? After playing for Dundee, natural progression. Linz, Metz, Zagreb and Keflavik were the opponents for which Scottish team in 1995? It was a rare excursion into Europe for this team. Gordon McCubbing is not going for all 5. There's your opportunity, folks. Number 4, what club side did Maurice Johnson play the greatest number of games for in his career? Not a UK club. And number 5, how many goals did East Fife let in in the 97-98 season. Get within 10 goals to get the right... 10 goals off the right answer to get the points. Now, at this point, I'm going to remind you that I do this for tips. I'm Dr. Paul. I'm a quizmaster. I have a wife and one child. And up until the COVIDs, I was doing alright here, especially if you tell your friends. That helps me. If you share, tell other people. If the numbers keep going up, you know, or if they go up at all, I'll keep doing this. Okay, it says reconnection successful. It's probably off there while I was asking for money. It's probably got an algorithm. Dr. Paul's asking for money. Drop the stream. I was just saying a tip would be great, that's all. You don't have to pay, but I do accept tips. Right, okay, let's get on with the answers. Quiz ballers are only going for 2 of them. It's pretty cagey. Let's see what the answers are. Double or bust answers. Here we go. So, number 1, bug. Which small annoying animals are the nickname of Alloa Athletic? They are the Wasps. There they are. Alloa Athletic. The Wasps. I don't know if the cartoonist really grasped wasp for that one. Fabians are going for all 5. Could be big. 4 points for wasps. Or wasp. Number 2, Brent Sancho. Played for Dundee. Ended up becoming the Minister of Sport for Trinidad and Tobago. There he is. And look, he can play chess as well. What a guy. Trinidad and Tobago. Although there was a question about some corruption. Nice bow tie as well. Just noticed that. Number 3, rare Euro jaunt. Linz, Met, Zagreb, Keflavik, and the 5th team that made up that group were Partick Thistle. I went to one of the games against Keflavik, and I can't remember a thing about it other than it was quite nice weather. I think I might have dropped off, had a bit of a nap. Ah, Bill, that's superb. That wins. Bill wins the quiz, right? Do Alloa have a B team? That's it. Quiz is over. Bill wins. Number 4, Morris Johnson. He played over 100 games for only one club, and that club was Kansas City Wizards. There he is, turning out for the Wiz. Kansas City Wizards. America. How does the scoring work for this round again, says Gordon? Well, it's double or bust. So if you got a right answer gets you 4 points. Okay? For all the ones you went for and got right. But if you put a single wrong answer down in this round, then you bust. You get 0 points for the round. That's how it works. And last one, leaky defence. How many goals did East Fife let in? Everything riding on the last question for Fraser Kennedy. Is he going to get within 10 goals of this? The right answer is 92 goals. So anything between 82 and 102 got you the points. Holy bananas. Let me just get my calculator on here. What's that? 92 goals divided by 36 games. 2.55 goals per match. That's worth the entrance fee, innit? You know you're going to get a show. And there's a yas. There's a yas for Fraser Kennedy. That means he got the last one right. Gordon's got scuppered on the Mojo question. Put Nantes. Yeah, he went to Nantes after Celtic before Rangers. But he was only there for 2 seasons. I think. Maybe a season and a half. But the Kansas City Wizards, he was there for quite a while. Went for 98 and got bust on that. No. If you said 98, David, then you got the points. You had to get within 82, from 82 to 102, got you the points. Bust on Mojo as well. Bust on the last question gets 80. Oh, shocker. Just outside. Right, looks like the scores might be a bit lower tonight. Looks like it was a difficult last round. Wasps, Trinidad, Tobago, Partick Thistle, Kansas City Wizards, 92 goals. I'm going to give you the link now to upload your scores so I can make a nice scoreboard. for you. I'm just trying to find it. Here it is. Okay. Whoa, exciting stuff. What's the top score? I think Gordon McCubbin might be pretty high up there again because he was getting 10s earlier on and he got 16 in the last round. Carefully avoided the Partick Thistle question. That link that I've just posted up, follow that, click on that, and it just uploads your team name and your score. That's all. And I'll make the league table. I'll get it up as soon as I can. I'll get it up in about 20 minutes, okay? On Dr. Ball Facebook. And Robert Jones, it turned out that was a wise move just going for the 2 because they got him right. 62 in the end. That's a good score. Good overall score. That should have you in the top echelon, I think. Marion says, first time I ever went bust in this round, I was overconfident. Went for 4, only got 1 correct. Went for Mexico for Brent Sancho. Aye, it sounds a bit Mexican, doesn't it? But he's from Trinidad and Tobago. That's where he's from. Went for Livingston. Must be for the Partick Thistle one. And Nantes. Yeah, a few people got busted in the Nantes one. Yeah, Morris Johnson was... I'm going to quickly look it up. See how long he was at the Wiz. Kansas City Wizards. I think it was a lot less stressful for him over there compared to being at Rangers and Celtic. Particularly Rangers after being at Celtic. So yeah, Kansas City Wizards, he was there for 5 years, 1996 to 2001. Played 38 times for Scotland, Morris Johnson. He was a huge figure in the 90s, 80s and 90s, wasn't he? You kind of forget about him. Played for Hearts as well. I kind of forgot that. I remember him playing for Falkirk. I'm just looking at his list of clubs here. Partick Thistle obviously started out there. Then Watford, Celtic, Nantes. Played 66 games for Nantes. 76 games for Rangers. Just under 100 for Celtic. 34 for Everton. 35 for Hearts. 41 for Falkirk. And then nearly 150 games for Kansas City Wizards. Quite a career. Only 29 for Mr. Ballingal. 28 points. Well, the thing is, I think there are some pretty low scores tonight. The thing is, don't avoid uploading your score just because you got a low score, because you've got to make the other teams feel good, you know what I mean? Same will happen to you next week when it's the other way around. Thank you for the tip, Gordon. Appreciate that. Going to put the link up again for anyone who needs to upload their score, and I'm going to give you the link one more time for PayPal donation. Now, you don't have to have PayPal, even though it is PayPal. You can use a card. Thank you, Fraser. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As long as it keeps growing a little bit week by week, I'll keep doing this, right? Tuesday nights. My pub quiz is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This takes longer to put together, the football one, because I've got to write a lot of questions from scratch. But I'll keep doing it for just now. I'll do it to the end of June, anyway. But please tell people about the quiz, and that's the way it will keep going. If you tell people, okay? Share the idea of the quiz. Tell other people about the quiz. I know a lot of you'll be in specific club groups, you know, depending on who you support. Please just give it a little mention in there. That'd be good, because I can't join all these groups. I can't pretend to be a Hearts fan or a Hibs fan or something like that. Thanks for uploading your score, Ollie. 59 for the Daffodils, that's pretty good. 65 Kieran, very, very good. Good scores. Mr. McCubbing, who has been our top scorer the last 2 weeks, got 66 tonight, so pretty close and lower than his usual. Oh, hang on a second. Fabian Society, 74. That'll be the winners tonight, I'm sure. 50 for the Mangles, going along pretty well until you get bust. So it can all be about that last round sometimes. If you've got any criticisms of the quiz, please let me know on Facebook, usually, if you use Facebook. If you do not know where to find me on Facebook, I'll put a wee link in for that as well. Great stuff, aye. Please share the quiz. Please like it as well just before you go. And that all helps me with the algorithm. Right, I'm going to get out of here. I said I was going to do a prize, didn't I? Right, listen. For those who are still here, let's have a quick quiz competition. Ask me a quiz question. Scottish football, you know. Or in fact, any football. Could be English as well. Or world or whatever. Give me a football quiz question. Best question in the next few minutes will win a scratch card. For £100,000. Look at that. And we'll scratch it live. So give me a quiz question. It doesn't matter if I get it right or not. Just if I think it's a good question. I'll do a scratch card for you. And I'll send it to you in the post, or you can scratch it live. Whatever you fancy. So give me a little quiz question. And best one will win a... Because I did say we would do a prize tonight. I've uploaded our piss poor score, says Ollie. That's the stuff. What was Falkirk's original name? Colin says, was it Bainsford? Something like that. Bainsford. Royal Bainsford or something like that. That's my guess there. Or was it just Falkirk Bainsford? Was that it? That's my guess. Marion says, what's the longest team name in professional football in the UK? I think it's Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Tell me if I'm right or wrong on these, and I'll add up some points. I'm going to try and get myself up to 10 points here. If I hit 10 points, then I'll pick a winner for the questions. Gordon says, which two countries went to war after a qualifier for the 1970 World Cup? Right. Bainsford, Britannia. I'll give myself 1 point for that, Colin, because I knew it was Bainsford. And I should have got that. I know that name. Good one. I like it. Now, Gordon's asking me which two countries went to war. I'm pretty sure this is Central American, and I think it's Honduras and El Salvador. That's what I'll go for. I'm correct on ICT. Thanks, Marion. That's 2 points. I'm up to 3 points now. Bill Tully says, who is the only player to be awarded Player of the Year with two different clubs? Now, you're going to have to be more... A little bit more information. What do you mean? What Player of the Year? Scottish Player of the Year? European Player of the Year? World Player of the Year? Give me a clue. And give me a clue, like a decade as well. Quiz ballers are guessing El Salvador and Honduras as well. That's what I said, wasn't it? Gordon McCubbin saying, also known as the Football War. Who is the statue of outside Exeter City's ground? Exeter. And I'm correct. That's brilliant. I nearly went for Nicaragua, but I was thinking, nah, that's good. Right, that's me up to 5 points. Good question. Honduras and El Salvador. Just taking notes here. Put these in the database if they're not there already. Ollie, I don't know the extra one. Give us a clue. Give us a clue for the extra one. Which Welsh club famously beat FC Porto in the 1980s? I don't know, Connor, but I'm going to guess Wrexham. Because you always used to see their name round about then. So I'm going to guess Wrexham. Connor. Groundhopper says, FC Cologne were beaten 8-1 by which Scottish team in the European Cup? No, they weren't. It's a lie. We've never beaten anybody 8-1 at anything. For the Cologne question. Great score. Fraser says, which ex-EPL player had a clause in his contract that if he went into space, his contract would be terminated? What? Yeah, aye. Yeah, you need a clue for that. Connor says, spot on. What was that? I was Wrexham. All right, okay. Excellent. Wrexham beat Porto in the 80s. That's back when anything can happen. That's back when Dundee United could beat Barcelona. Just like that. Home and away. Groundhopper is saying, oh, it happened during the 60s, if that's a clue. Which question is this again? That was the FC Cologne one. Well, someone has answered it already and said Dundee. They sounded pretty sure, so I'm going to say Dundee for that. Oh, I said Hibs. Right. Ollie says he's a world famous singer that has shares in the club. This is the Exeter question. World famous singer, shares in the club. I don't know. For some reason I've got like Chris de Burgh in my head, but it can't be that. He's Irish. Exeter. Who's from Exeter? Noel Edmonds is from Exeter, but that can't be right. He's not a singer. World famous singer, shares in the club, Exeter. I don't know. Leo Sayer, right? Leo Sayer is my final answer for Exeter. Fraser saying played for Arsenal. What is that in relation to? Alright, the space club. I've no idea. Gordon says, name the Scotsman who is the only player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for 3 different clubs. I don't know. Was that the Scottish Hall of Fame? So Dundee is right. Yeah, I didn't get that one right. It's a good question though. So Dundee, Cologne, 8-1. Imagine. Who scored AFC Wimbledon's first ever goal? I don't know, James. Absolutely no idea. Vinnie Jones. Who is statistically Scotland's best manager? Now, I guess you're talking, Louise, about win percentages of wins. Is it someone who is manager for one game or something? Player of the year was Sandy Jardine, right? Okay. So that'll be Hearts and Rangers, yeah? Sandy Jardine, Hearts and Rangers. See, I'm not getting many of these, am I? It's because I don't really know too much. I can write a question. I don't necessarily know too much. James says, Glenn Mulcair jailed as part of the News International phone hacking scandal. Really? What, is he a journalist as well? Michael Jackson, right. That actually crossed my mind. I thought, nah. Because he used to have a statue of him at Fulham, didn't they? It's good though. I love it. I'm going to use it. Two in England and 1 in Scotland for the Hall of Fame. 60s, 70s, right. What's the question again? Name the Scotsman who's the only player to be inducted in the Hall of Fame for 3 different clubs. 60s and 70s. All right, like the Hall of Fame for that club. 3 different Halls of Fame, yeah? 60s and 70s. I'm trying to think of top players in the 60s and 70s, but all I can really get is people like Bremner. He's like one club, wasn't he? Was he not just Leeds? Baxter. Sunderland and Rangers. Apparently he wasn't that great at Sunderland. What about Dave Mackay? Nah, that's too early, isn't it? Kenny Dalglish, Celtic. Nah, because you're saying 60s and 70s. That was before Kenny Dalglish. Don't know. It's a good question. So, Louise, is it Gordon Strachan, by any chance? Well, Dave Mackay is correct. All right, fantastic. Could give myself 1 point for that because I kind of guessed it as one of my guesses. So that must be Hearts, Spurs, and who else did he play for? Did he play for Arsenal as well? McLeish. All right. That is good. That's a great question, Louise. I'll use that in a 50-50 round. Best win percentage. Scotland boss. Bring him back. Get him back. Right, it's time to choose a winner. I failed to get up to 10 points, but some great questions there. Let's have a look. We've got Bainsford, we've got Honduras, El Salvador, we've got Michael Jackson statue. The Dave Mackay question's pretty good. 8-1 Dundee Cologne question's pretty good. Wrexham beating Porto. The Alex McLeish fact. No, I had no idea, Fraser. Did you guess my one about the player in space? I can't even think how that would connect up to a footballer. I don't know. Please tell me. Because I haven't got the faintest idea. He was Swedish. I don't know. Freddie Ljungberg. Ex-EPL player had a clause in his contract that if he went into space, his contract would be terminated. Stefan Schwartz. Why? But why? That's what I want to know. Why would Stefan Schwartz have a clause about not going into space? I mean, was that on the cards? Was he a spaceman in his spare time? Don't get it. It doesn't sound right. Footballers don't go into space. From Diego Maradona, you know. He must have been space daft. Is that it? Was he part of the Swedish space program? Along with the Swedish chef? Marion saying was Stefan Schwartz, not Swiss. Nah. He's a Swede, wasn't he? Stefan Schwartz. Looking him up there. Yeah, he's a Swede. What's the thing about? Is there anything about space on his Wikipedia? Right. It mentions it on his Wikipedia page, but it doesn't say why. Why that clause would ever... I mean, is that a joke clause? Sounds like it. Anyway, pick a winner, Paul. Let's pick a winner. The winner, the best question, is the Michael Jackson statue, right? Ollie. Ollie's the winner. So, what do you want to do, Ollie? Do you want me to send you this in the post, or do you want to scratch it now? £100,000. Let me know, Ollie. Do you want a scratch now, or do you want it mailed out? £100,000. Scratchy. For your Michael Jackson Exeter question. If you want to scratch it now, 20p waiting. Let's do it. Scratch away, he says. Right, let's do it. Here we go. Right, this is deliberately bought standard ones. They're easy. 9 things. Scratch them off. 3 matches equals a win of that amount. Let's do it. Isn't it at Craven Cottage, the statue? Well, that's the thing. I think they had a Michael Jackson there as well. Seems to be a rash of them. Right, first line. Ollie, here we go. You've got £20. £5,000 and £1,000. That's the first three. Second line, £1,000. So you now have 2 times £1,000. £100,000. I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be 1,000. I thought we were quids in. And the next one, last one on the second line is £5,000. So you've got 2 times 5,000 and 2 times 1,000. So you need one more 1,000 or one more 5,000. Come on. £2. £5 is getting weird. So we're down to the last one. It can only be, for any money at all, 1,000 or 5,000 in this very last one. Here we go, Ollie. Come on. Let's do it. For Michael Jackson, for you, for the USA, for Africa, for me, for the children. Oh, £100,000. There's nothing. Sorry, Ollie, but it's a good question. Right, Louise has finally brought a bit of sense to the Stefan Schwartz disaster. Schwartz apparently had a ticket for a commercial spaceflight. Now that suddenly makes a bit of sense. I was doing my nutting. Why? Why the space clause? So the club are like, nah, you're not going to space, you big balloon. Stay here. Planet Earth. Bad luck, Ollie. You'll win one of these one of these weeks. I'm sure you will. Right. Thanks everyone for doing the quiz. Please share. Please tell everybody about the quiz. Please give me a tip. What would you pay if you went to a pub quiz? You know, play what you think it's worth. £2, £3, maybe £55. Whatever you donate is the right amount, right? Because whatever you think it's worth, that's what it's worth. Thanks very much for doing the quiz. And I'll see you next week. Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Thank you, Louise. Cheers to you too. Clink. I'm away to get my dinner. I'm going to have a pizza. And I'll get the scores up soon, okay? See you all later. Good night. Bye.